What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.what'supinthesky.com. Haven't been around much this weekend. Been a whole bunch going on. My friend came in from Russia. You might hear her in the background um, talking to her family on Skype. Um, so I've been busy. That's why I didn't keep up with the videos. There's a couple good ones I need to get to because there's a whole bunch of good stuff. But this one I had up ready to do a video the other day, and I didn't end up doing it. It was from I'm still way back. This is from 631, which isn't too far back, but there's some interesting stuff in there. And if you haven't watched my videos before, even if you do watch my videos, I was sitting here thinking, how do you get yourself in the right frame of mind to even look at these pictures? I don't think that this stuff is current unless it's being so manipulated that we're just not seeing how sharp stuff is, which very well could be because if you watch my old videos, you've seen the manipulation they do at NASA, and it's being done in blocks, around the picture. And I'm sure once I get into this one, we'll find it as well. But what would be looking for? What would we be looking for? And I could imagine like the explorers when they came into like the Yucatan Peninsula and they found the pyramids or they found the ancient stuff that was there. And even to this day, I think someone just found something on Google Earth, another pyramid somewhere in Mexico or down there, maybe Peru, something like that. But if they go down, I mean, everything's going to be grown over and nasty. So here we don't see tree life. Not that's being there might be moss and stuff like that that's being blocked out by the coloring, but we don't see anything like that around. So, but that doesn't say thousands of years ago it wasn't like that. And look how quick it changed. If you've seen any of the pictures of, or even when the pyramids in Egypt had been found over and over again, some of them where the sand is way up on them and just everything is just disarray. Um, and as you peel back the layers of it, you really start to find more and more. And I think what we're seeing here is the top layer of what after the cataclysm or whatever happened to Mars, stuff that was just jostled and tossed around and thrown about, strewn about. But anyway, so that's where I think the mindset I've got to get in. You're like the explorer looking into this stuff, because honestly, that egg thing I saw the other day, that thing was pretty perfect, but few and far between we found exact perfect things. This stuff looks like it's in ruins, and like I said, it could be done by the digitally being done, but this thing to me and a couple other things in this picture just scream intelligent life, and I've been trying to decide this piece right here and this piece right here look like this is one whole machine or something. It looks like one time it had been fairly intricate. I mean, it's got some blur down here, so we really can't see what exactly it is. Let me pull that up here so you guys can see that. When I say it's got some blur down there, look how see the pixels are pretty dark and light. You can see that that's sharp. Then you go over here and this one's sharp, but this block isn't, this block isn't, that block isn't, that block isn't, that block isn't. Then you go over a couple more and this is how I know they've been manipulated. I mean, that's how I know in my head. I've been working on this stuff for a long time with artifacts, and not just Mars stuff. You know what I mean? I've been looking at image artifacts and images for a long time. Now, check this out. This looks like a bar that runs across the top here, and could be an optical illusion. But the more and more I look at it, oh, excuse me, I know I shouldn't be doing that with my neck. Um, Let me see if we can't bust this thing out a little bit with the gamma, just to see if that see it keeps a solid mass across it, and I just keep thinking to me, I don't know why that just screams. Let me see if I can't get it to something I'm happy with, and then back it out. And there's just a lot of randomness to it, but in a way, that's just like the who knows what the architecture or what stuff would look like. I mean, when you go down there and look at the stuff in Peru and some of just well in Mexico down there, look at the Mayan stuff and how they wrote similar to this. I mean, if you were just to look at this at face value, this piece right here looks to have all sorts of writing on it. And I say that, how do I say it? Like, how can you say that it just looks like a rock? Well, there looks to have parallel lines, circles, things that don't just show up in nature. And well, they do, but not in this amount. This could be some sort of volcanic rock, possibly that has pores and porous nature to it or whatever. But to me, that's just not. Um, it doesn't look like that to me. This looks like, and I've got pictures. Like I said, I took pictures at the beach yesterday of beach rocks, and you do see some features that water have done, and this could have been underwater, and that's why a lot of these features are here. And I do agree, running water can do amazing things. So, but to this looks like it's been, something that was ancient. It looked like it was really ornate at one time. But either way, let me take a quick look back here and show you some more of this under here. And right here, there's some interesting stuff. And let me see if I can't back it out to where I had it, where it came from. It looks like they're braces or something that have been built under here, but they look like almost four. You really can't see that one there as much, but they definitely seem to be similar in shape, and they don't all the way touch the top. They're just interesting. So let me see if I can't just auto color pull some of that out. Yeah. What's interesting here is a little piece that's in the sun. That the stone looks to be the same color as it goes up here, but on the side it's not, which could be just the lighting effect because it's dark under there. But I don't know, something to look at. This isn't one of those ones that I think they'll blow your mind. Well, I don't know. You might have already seen something that blows your mind. It's amazing what I miss in these pictures because I get emails and videos from you guys all the time that say, "You missed this," and it's so big. And I'm like, God, I can't believe I missed that. Here you've got, like I said, more. This just looking back at this piece right here. I mean, look like this right here. See how some of this stuff comes down, and then you get this blinds effect, I call it. And I say in all my videos, it's always there. It's not that I don't think this is being added by the camera. I've never seen it added by camera before. I looked through a lot of pictures. Let's see. See how they've it when they it just breaks up the image so your eyes don't see it as well. And most, a lot of the color can throw your eyes off in these pictures, and that's another way that they obfuscate things. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Let's see here. See that? I mean, just stuff like that. It just looks to be something, and it could be random. Like I said, I'm not going. You say I'm making a leap of faith here, and I'm going under the assumption that there was a civilization there, and we're peeling back the layers of it. This right here was interesting to me because it looks out of place, and it looks like it could be one whole thing, or it could be an illusion just from this is how the rocks lay out. But I wanted to do this. I haven't done this yet, so let's see here. Auto color. It stands out a little bit more there. Let me do the exposure and see if we can. It looks like a boy with his hand in his pockets. See this right here? Looks like he's got a hat on, a nose, a mouth, a neck that comes down. Here's his backpack is this color right here, and he's got his arms coming around into his pocket. Now this is totally probably matrix thing in my eyes or whatever that's doing this. Is some but to me it's very interesting and it's just there. And this stuff could be, you say, it's amazing what really could be hidden in these pictures or how much they can hide. um, Mars Anomalies and my buddy Chris and my buddy over the Olympus Sky are doing they're and Santa they're at Mars Unmasked, a couple of these guys, all of them, they're like really breaking into using these pictures and the actual Photoshop to bring stuff out. And I'm gonna leave that to them. I just don't have the time to do it. Nor, what I do here is I like to pass these off to you guys. You know what I mean? And pass it off to them too. They and roll with it. And they're finding amazing stuff every day. So if you're not subscribed to them, you need to go check out my buddies on my channel. There's so many good people out there working on this stuff. So once again, more and more of this stuff here where it just looks like it's porous, but a lot of people say that the civilization on Mars is very small, and that could make a lot of sense to me. Like maybe if they're, first off, the planet's what, 2/3 the size of ours, something like that, or it's very small. Maybe even that, or we might be 2/3 bigger or something like that. But basically, we're like this, that's like that, and so automatically things might be smaller there. Maybe the evolution there, or whatever, maybe the Martians were this big, and a lot of people say that there's different races on there. Some were this big, some were huge. Um, and that would be why sometimes we look at these pictures and we don't have a scale on the pictures, but sometimes when you look in, it looks like little mini civilizations, and it's just amazing. It looks like stuff's been carved out, and it would make sense if it had been carved out by a small hand, much smaller hand. So it's funny. I hear some rushing going in the background over there. Let's see back up here. And when you look at this one from the back, like I said, up here too, there's some interesting stuff. Let me go back up to here. Where'd you go? Right here. Just like I said, if you were peeling back the layers of a civilization, you would expect to see circle shapes, rectangles. You'd expect to see things like that, shapes, geometry. Check this thing out. This is kind of interesting. Let's see if we can't get some depth to this one. All right, image, auto contrast. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's see if we can't yank the gamma up. What I'm interested here is it kind of looks like something like a holding tank here. See how this is actually looks like you could just pour a bunch of water or something in there, but it looks to be mechanical maybe in somehow. You know, what would New York City look like thousands and thousands and thousands of years from now if we just let Mother Nature take over? And obviously, it looks like something really. Mars had the ability and the oceans and everything and the standing water to produce hell of storms. You know, we see amazing storms on Earth that just wipe out. Look at the tsunamis that have taken out places where just nothing remains. Um, but you would think that some things would remain. I believe that the Gale crater was once underwater, maybe, and this is where a lot of the rubble went because it looks like rubble, and it looks like maybe something picked up in its tracks. But let's see here. Very interesting to me this piece, at least that, and the fact that here's what I say why it's really interesting to me, because this piece right here that is just kind of out of place looking is right under something that looks perfectly oval or looks like a piece of something. It looks like there's been manipulation in this picture too. Most people are probably starting to pick it up on their own if they're watching my videos enough. Like I said, especially if you watch them in HD 1080. That's why I film them on my iMac 27. So basically, it's is bigger than the screen. The resolution that's on this screen is better than what you're going to get anywhere. So I mean, if you make your videos on an 800 by 600 screen, that's all you're going to get. So that's just a little tip to the video makers out there. Not that I'm making wonderful videos. There's no rhyme. There's not too much creativity behind what I do here. It is, it's all in the head. This looks like a lizard up here earlier. I looked at this. I did take a look at this, and it looks among more and more stuff that seems to be blurred out. My buddies, they use these burn tools all the time to like pull out some of this stuff. Let me see if I can get that actually to do something. Like I said, they're really good. Mars Unmasked. He's our Olympus Sky. He's the one that showed me how to do it on Skype. Man, he took the time to sit and show me what to do, and I've just forgotten most of it, all the settings for the burn tools and stuff like that, and the dodge tool. It's basically kind of pulls stuff out a little bit better. Sharpen seems to work too, but see how that kind of looks like a strange face eyeball there, right in the center eyeball there, mouth there. I just added that to it, so let me do step backwards. It's probably too far back because I did that. There we go. Bam. Here we go. All right. So anyway, guys, let me check out, see if there's anything I missed here. If you guys can't hear, up here at the top right-hand corner of the screen, I thought this was just kind of interesting. The shapes. That's what I look at. The shapes. That's what's interesting to me. They said, and most people just look at this and say, "Oh, that's just nasty bunch of rocks there." And granted, that's maybe I read too much into this stuff, but to me, something like this, and here's some more, just kind of what look like old sheet metal that's been rusted away. And this whole thing here too, this kind of interests me as well. I didn't really look much at this and thing, but let me see if I can expose this real quick with the exposure, because it looks like the middle of a wall. See how this piece comes up right here, and this seems to be contrived, and it seems to have little things written in it and stuff like that. Let's see if I can't pull it out at all. Exposure. Hmm. Now, what I do there with the gamma, basically to me, it just brings the edges out on stuff. I'm sure there's much better ways to do it if you're a Photoshop guy. Like I said, I get by with what I've got. I leave that Photoshop stuff to the pros. Look at that right there. Look at these perfect spheres that are perfectly placed next to each other. It just seems like that was maybe something ornate. This could have been side of a building. Look, I mean, it could have easily been a building. This stuff could have been inside of it, and but what's interesting about Mars is I think they went suffered a cataclysm, so it's going to look kind of like Puma Punku, where just stuff is just thrown everywhere. Um, this is on a much smaller scale, but and I never did look show you. I was keep my eyes kept bringing me back to that, but let me show you that real quick. It almost looks like a hose or some sort of little lizard or something like that, and then we're gonna let you guys go. All right, Image. If you made it this far, you rock. I tell you what, I love my subscribers. Um, there you go. Bam. All right, guys. whatsupinthesky.com. My name is Will, www.whatsupinthesky.com. If you've got Malwarebytes and it says that my server is giving out, what is it, like drive-by something, basically it's saying that my server is not good. I share a server. I buy for JustHost, and I share a server. So some jerk on there set something up. So my IP address is getting banned by some people. But don't worry, nothing's messed up on your computer, believe me. Um, I'm going to go ahead and I never thought my website would take off this much, so I'm going to go ahead and order a static IP for it and get that out from under that. That's in the process right now. So, but don't worry. Like I said, only people with Malwarebytes. That looks like the only place it's blacklisted. But if you go to all the major sites that scan, they're going to tell my site doesn't have it. So, anyways, guys, what's up in the Sky 37's Will. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon if you're watching this in the future or past. Enjoy it. Take it easy. Peace.